well. Then following by tomorrow, maybe we go for gateway training. Then we'll take one whole day. And then after gateway training, then we will go for ESM and troubleshooting training lah. But all will be done using modules, since our training more objectively is covering on the module part for now. So during this engineering, I might take another day if we cannot complete by today. We will continue tomorrow as well lah, on the engineering part. So for this project, all the relays that we use, that is using 6150. So I will cover the basic level lah, how the signals being added, how the MMS being insert into the engineering file. Okay. Anything else would you like to add on, or suggestion, anything? Okay, so other than that, okay, so just to confirm with our schedule, is it okay we start our training by 9 to 9:30 every day?
Okay.
Okay, right. Like 9 is the start, but we have a buffer time up to 9:30. And then since the traffic jam and all right. And then 10:30 AM we have a buffet outside, so training room. In case during the training session, once 10:30 to 10:40 lah, I'll let you know. You can go to the buffet. You can bring inside the horizontal communication and vertical communication. So vertical communication, as it something that flow. This term actually just for this architecture. It's not really in the real scenario. No, it's not the real scenario. It's just a theoretical scenario where this vertical communication means it's an upward communication according to the architecture lah, according to this system architecture. So you can see all the IEDs, they all connect to this client ESM, and this client ESM is sending the details to the above network. So we call that as vertical communication. Means the server is communicating with the client. So all this, so easy. Shortly, I can say easily, this everything upwards here is client. HMI is a client. Gateway is a client. And then EGW is a client. Time server is just a server. It's another server, but mostly just for the time. So over here itself, we have 3 clients. And then usually our approved SCD file, we are required to have 5 clients. So the first client will be used for HMI. Second, usually we put as HMI2, but usually at site there's no HMI2 lah. So in that case, that will be a spare client. And then third is for HGW to the NLDC. And then fourth client is for EGW, Enterprise Gateway. And then fifth is the maintenance port lah, maintenance. Okay, and then over here, below the downside lah, below the ESM on the server side. So on the server side, we call this as horizontal communication, where all the relays, they communicate each other. So here I can separate them into two different 650 term lah. One is by MMS, another one is by Goose. Usually this horizontal communication, right, it happened by Goose. Whatever that relay sent to another relay, and all the relays able to like the signal ORIP and live transfer in progress, all that kind of signals, right? They all consider like a BCU is sending to bus couplers BCU, and then another BCU send to another BCU on the ORIP signal. So these kind of things all is considered as horizontal communication, where they communicate each other. So for that communication, the usual thing that we use is goose. Goose will be used lah, the goose signals. So from relay going to client, we use MMS signals. So far, goose signals haven't start being implemented yet lah. Even until now, the goose signals haven't started implemented for client level. But when you think it in futuristic way, actually it's possible. You can use goose signals to client. In fact, enterprise gateway is able to read goose. Enterprise gateway able to read goose. So in that way, goose can be sent to clients. But then we stick to using MMS lah. We stick to use MMS. If you ask me why MMS is more stable or something, it's not actually more stable. MMS consists more detail, and also goose have a characteristic where it cannot capture time. So that is the reason, even that is the real reason NLDC also not monitoring the goose, because goose doesn't have time quality. Okay? Only MMS have time quality. So in that way, whatever happening in the site or station, any signal being triggered, we can monitor. We can capture the time. We can capture the time, and we can capture the moment it happened, and we can read the event. But goose, they rely on the not relays timing, but more to the CID files timing lah. They don't have a time characteristic, so they don't follow time server's time. They follow the CID files time. So yes, CID file does connect with time server, but still goose doesn't have a time quality, so that is the issue now. You actually, if you stiffer, right, you can see the time, the goose being start or goose being happening, but it's always the time that you're capturing it. Let's say you want to trace back the time, you can't do it. That's what it means by the quality time is not there. So if it's MMS, yes, you can view the time anytime you want. Like HMI, you always see the event happen, and then the next event happen, there will be another record. Then the next event happens, and there's another record. That means the quality of time is there. Okay, clear? Anything you want to ask about it?
So MMS tu kita boleh MMS dengan goose ni benda yang similar lah.
Betul. Dia
kita boleh pakai goose, kita boleh pakai MMS. Tapi kita punya vertical kita TMB pakai MMS lah, so lebih stable.
MMS dia pakai untuk client communication, vertical communication.
Kalau kita pakai goose untuk
vertical communication, itulah yang kata futuristic. Yes, you can do that, but problem with that is time quality tak ada untuk goose. So bila tak ada time quality, NLDC automatic tak nak tengok lah.
So kita boleh replace MMS tu guna goose.
Replacing is not the right term lah. Goose have its function, MMS have its function, but both memang dia information sender lah, information receiver and information sender. Okay, so goose works more like a signal transmitter. They transmit and they receive, but MMS more like a record, like an event recorder. Whatever it happened, it sent as a information to the client. But goose is not only sending information, but it's something like triggering the thing to happen. You understand, like a stripping logic. Tripping logic, you want the tripping to happen. The goose is the reason it's happening. So it's a trigger. It's a triggering point. So each 6150, they have their own function. But what I said was that functionality of the receiving and transmitting, you can record as well. But the problem with that functionality is they don't have a timestamp. They don't have a quality, not timestamp. Time quality is not there. So that is the reason that it's not being monitored lah. But as I said, you can monitor using sniffer and all those kind of things.
Tadi yang bawah tu horizontal.
Betul.
Horizontal punya type. Daripada bawah ke atas vertical.
Betul. So vertical basically is MMS. Horizontal basically goose lah.
Goose.
MMS is just information being sent, but goose is transmitting and receiving. So how this goose transmitting and receiving, as you can see the topology, ring topology lah. The fibers entering the ESM, and then ESM act as a router. That router connect all the ESM together. And yeah. So to ensure that the goose transferring receiving is proper, that is the reason we check on the BRCB polling actually, data polling actually. That's one part, that system, that's log we check for data polling, right? That one specifically done being because we want to make sure the goose transfer receive doesn't have any disturbance. In case there's a polling, right, like duplicate goose signal, unnecessarily it can trigger unnecessary events. Maybe it's not tripping, but there might be some events that we might see at HMI or we might see at iDiscord sniffer. So to avoid that, that is the reason we monitor the polling. We try to clear as much as we can, and not as much as we try to maintain there's 2 polling only comes. One from HMI, another one from gateway. So other than that, we try to avoid any other unnecessary event entering lah. But goose always communicate each other. Even goose also we try to monitor, but we ensure that only the goose that we recognize is there. Any other than other goose or any template inside, we try to remove it or delete it, because that can just cause any unnecessary events. So might be even tripping could be a reason for that. So that is the reason we try to avoid. Usually we avoid it lah. Okay, and so until the client ESM, from bay ESM to client ESM, all will be connected using fiber. But once it goes to the client part, all connected by using RJ45. So RJ45, you can say these colors lah. Red color means ring fiber. Orange color means patch cord fiber lah. Orange color which is used for relay IEDs to ESM. ESM to ESM we use ring fiber. What is the different? The wavelength lah. The wavelength. IED using 63.5 while ring fibers using 50 micron. 50 micron. Okay, and the RJ45 standard lah, standard Cat 5 cable.
Fiber tu ada beza.
Fiber tu ada beza, yes. Ring dengan yang pakai untuk relay ada beza.
Yang you kata 50 micro tu type.
Dia more to like wavelength different. 50.5 is say 60, dia macam
Tampung speed dia apa? Tampung speed dia apa?
No, it's not about speed. Dia bukan speed. Dia more like berapa access yang dia boleh bagi tu. Dia berapa access yang dia boleh bagi. So bila you pakai 63.5, dia macam how to say dia punya konsep tu, dia macam lagi besar kan, dia lagi banyak cahaya boleh dihantar. So maksudnya banyak information boleh hantar.
Banyak road lah.
Banyak road. Biasa yang tu dia pakai untuk ring fiber. Tapi ring fiber tu dia ada limitation on the length. So when you use longer, let's say distance is very long, you need to use smaller wavelength.
Oh.
And then when the distance is short, you can use a bigger wavelength. Like 63.5 is using because it's in the panel itself. Manakala kita pakai ring tu 50.5 because distance is a bit longer. So according to TMU punya standard, dia punya SPDR document dia memang suruh kita pakai 50.5 for the ring
So
lah.
dia tak ada masalah lah kalau long.
Bila dia long pakai 50.5 is the right one lah consider.
Tapi saya tengok kan, kenapa kan yang bila ring dia akan pergi ujung dengan ujung, betul?
Betul?
Contoh macam Avatani kan,
Betul.
SCW dia punya tu sebelah depan dengan busbar.
Okay.
Okey. Tapi dia punya ring dia pergi ulu kali dengan bertosak.
Okay.
Kenapa dia tak masuk coupler dengan cat bank kan? Yang road yang lebih dekat
Mostly dia
dengan
masuk
SCW.
sini kan.
Bertosak.
Satu bertosak.
Satu lagi
Dia masuk sini bus coupler.
Oh, bus coupler.
So soalannya kenapa dia tak masuk tengah-tengah macam tu? Kenapa dia tak masuk ulu geli macam tu?
Oh, daripada bertosak. Betul ke yang ni? Macam tak
Patutnya
betul
ni
lah.
betul lah. Ni conceptual proof lah.
Rasa macam tak betul ni. Kalau ni
Okay.
semua pakai fiber tau. Semua pakai apa, Matico fiber tau. Dia tak pakai internal untuk ring dia tu. Betul tak kan?
Macam mana tu?
Semua kena lompat-lompat. Pasal panel dia depan belakang. Kalau dia follow macam ni lah. Betul tak?
Betul.
Itu bertosak dekat dengan cermin tu. Hulu kali pun dekat dengan cermin tu. Ganjil. Ganjil genap.
Biasa kat site kita akan follow macam ni lah according to conceptual lah. Dia akan follow
Kan
easy
buat?
one.
Betul tak?
Oh ya, dia buat ring macam tu ya. Dia tak masuk ring sebab dia akan
macam
ke depan
tak
tu
follow
kan.
dia ni.
Just lah confirm. Dia sekarang kita punya site pun dia bay tu tepi sebelah-sebelah kan.
Tak. Yang ni
Ha.
dia ganjil genap-genap.
Ganjil kena
Macam ni dia ganjil genap
Ikut
kan.
nombor,
So
dekat
kalau
side tu dia punya
follow
arrangement.
macam ni betul,
Semua
semua pakai fiber Matico punya fiber. Betul tak?
yes.
Dia
Sebab
kena
dia
cross
nak
lah.
pergi ke depan kan.
Dia kena pergi depan.
Sedangkan macam yang you orang biasa pakai, kena looping internal dia.
Betul. So in current scenario dekat side dia macam ganjil satu row, genap satu row
Yes.
macam tu.
Betul.
And then sekarang dia punya linking adalah tapi dia follow lah.
Dia follow.
Walaupun ganjil satu row, genap satu row, dia follow lah.
Dia yang macam isu yang saya tu kan. Contoh ni SCW yang bertosak belah sini. Itu dua kali belah sini. Daripada SCW ni dia pergi ke sini. Itu daripada SCW ni dia pergi ke ujung ni. Kenapa dia tak pergi yang paling hampir dengan dia? Ampang pun sama.
Okay, dia punya kes satu saja bro. Dia macam ni. Dia dari SCW, dia start dengan mana yang
jauh.
first bay kan.
Dia yang jauh dulu.
Actually tak kisah. Actually the real scenario even in fact pun sekarang pun dia tak follow conceptual, dia dah follow dah site punya arrangement. Genap satu row, ganjil satu row, and then we have to adapt according to the site situation lah. So in that way supposedly you can follow lah whichever that nearer to gateway. Actually there's no problem with that. Janji dia follow gateway satu tu masuk satu side. Dan dia dari satu side tu dia pergilah G1, dari G1 to G2. Sorry. Dari gateway kan G1 dia masuk to G2. Dari G1 bay tersebut dia pergi ke G2. As long as dia follow alignment
Yelah, dia akan pergi yang B yang paling jauh.
Dia tak semestinya pergi bay yang paling jauh. Bay
Pasal
yang last tu,
side,
dari last tu yang kena masuk ke gateway.
Pasal yang dua-dua side ni awak tadi dengan Ampang, dua-dua dia pergi yang paling jauh.
Dia start dari jauh dulu lah.
Dia start yang jauh. Lepas tu contoh ni sekadar gateway. Contoh Ampang pun kan, sekadar gateway dekat bilik tengah. Lepas tu 205 susun kan. Daripada sekadar gateway ni dia pergi hujung sana dengan hujung sini. Lepas tu kat tengah ni dia looping untuk return balik. Kenapa dia tak pergi ke coupler? Kenapa dia tak pergi ke kapur pandan? Belakang tu yang looping. Itu yang apa?
Usually we try to follow conceptual lah. We try to follow the arrangement in conceptual. Unless site kena adapt, then terpaksa adapt lah. As long as adapt, because Okay, this is from project side lah. I'm talking about. Usually when we at office, once we get a project, kita dah dapat layout side kan. Kita dah plan the arrangement of the bay and we order the fiber according to the site punya layout. So once we come to execution process, kita follow je apa yang kami plan on there during planning process. So in that way, memang benda dah order,
Ya.
fiber dah order.
Tu lah.
So bila
macam rugi lah.
benda dah plan,
rugi
benda dah
orang
plan,
lah.
site dah plan and then masa layout planning tak ada orang
Betul.
macam raise benda ni kan. So when execution process baru nak raise like alah benda dah ada kenapa tak buat macam tu lah lebih kurang. Tapi
Okay.
in real scenario, I'm telling you, if this is a issue, we can adapt accordingly lah. Dia punya konsep betul je, dia just bay to bay, bay to bay, bay to bay.
Tak, saya ingat macam standard you orang memang daripada CW pergi yang ujung sekali.
Oh no 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 no.
Tu kan macam mazir kan.
It was never like that.
Dah dia 10 kali.
Kan? Ulu kali.
10 kali.
It was never like that. It's just how the process
Kali
goes.
dengan betul sah.
Betul sana. Maknanya betul sana. Yang dekat dengan cermin.
Dia actually not a complication lah. It's just the issue of how the process goes lah. So during site layout kami dapat, we order according to the
So kalau distance jauh pun tak ada issue lah.
Usually actually it's not an issue at all lah. You can start from any side, but make sure the flow is smooth lah. The flow is one way lah. Just make sure on that. It's always one way.
Okay. Kalau USM tu mati, SMB mati, road dia mati tak?
Sekali lagi. Macam mana? Yang mana?
ESM dia fail.
Which ESM? Bay or
B.
Okay, Bay ESM mati.
Dia punya road dia boleh jalan ke tak?
Satu ESM mati lah. Satu ESM mati, yang lain semua jalan. Betul?
Ya, jalan daripada kiri dengan kanan. Kalau dua ESM mati, contoh macam tu, E01 dengan E03. Kira betul sak.
Okay,
Betul sak,
so
dua-dua mati.
E01 mati.
Yang
And then E03 mati.
Okay.
Okay.
Ulu kali 3 tu live or not?
Yang mana?
Ulu kali E02.
Okay, E02 lah. So ini mati, ini mati. In that case, memang ni pun tak mati lah.
Oh, mana kalau mati dia tak boleh root fiber tu stay tak function lah.
Betul sebab
right.
dia macam ni. Dia akan nampak macam ni dekat Jamaica ataupun dekat NLDC. Bila E01 mati, and then your case E03 pun mati kan. Dia akan nampak E04 sampai ujung saja.
Yang dua habis juga walaupun dia steady dia, tapi dia tak dapat signal. Road dia tak,
sebab road dia memang tak ada dalam situ. Sebab dia depend on E01 dengan E03. This ring topology is more to one ESM. When one ESM die lah.
Lagi habis.
But if there's two ESM die in one spot,
perangkaian yang berlaku tu tak ada lah.
it's just easy to troubleshoot lah bro. Easy to troubleshoot. When you notice which is the area that online, you can easily filter whichever is not online, and then start from there lah. Our troubleshooting. But yeah, if the middle bay is working and not communicating, is an issue as well. Unless they're usually like this lah. You know already the E03 is not working, we take the fiber ring from E03, connect to E02 and then make it online.
Berapa panjang length kalau yang ring tu? Berapa length dia?
As I say, standard if the
Maximum
bay are side by side is just 3 meter lah.
Side by side 3 meter. Type dia?
Type dia 50.0 micron.
50
OM2.
50.0.
50 micron, correct.
50 micro. From bay to ESM to client ESM
You mean sama. ESM to ESM is 50.
50.
IED to ESM 63.5. IED ECU ke relay ke.
So ID to ESM lagi besar lah dia punya.
Macam saya bagi tahu, dia depend on the length, not on the size. Depend on the length, micron dia diaturkan sendiri lah. You design because if it's far, dia jauh, tapi you bagi micron dia besar, susah nak sampai. Banyak informasi boleh, how to say, you can escape. You won't get the.
So, lagi jauh.
Lagi jauh
Tapi
dia
dia lagi
macam
kecil.
dia macam lagi jauh, yes, lagi kecil, correct. Dia punya part kena narrow.
Lagi dekat, lagi pakai besar.
Yes, correct.
Okay, daripada
So dia punya konsep macam ni bro. ESM to ESM information memang banyak, tapi dia since dia jauh, dia kena macam dia kena more to stable. Dia need to be stable. But IED to ESM, you will send a lot of information. Satu IED tu memang hantar banyak. So yang tu disebabkan dekat, dia boleh pakai 63.5. So bila ESM tu dapat information tersebut, dia kena hantar sampai gateway kan. Dia kena letak yang besar, letak yang panjang lah. Bila panjang tu dia kena letak 50.5. Dia kena narrowkan
50.5.
50 micron.
50 micron.
The wavelength need to be 50. Then only the information dia akan, how to say, it's not everything sampai. Dia memang akan ada dia punya plus minus, but it will be low lah.
Ada length dia. Kalau berapa panjang pun boleh. Ke macam mana? Yang part daripada B to
B2B.
client.
Dia berapa panjang pun boleh. There's no limit on that. There's no limit. That's the reason we use ring for 50.5. There's no limit on that.
Itu.
Yeah.
Itu.
But this limit I'm talking about is in station level lah, in a substation.
Kalau Ampang tu
Tapi kalau macam station tu 2 tu, I think different lah. Different dia punya
Macam tu lain kan.
standard.
Macam tu Ampang.
betul dia pakai LAN.
LAN lah. Waktu tu Ampang. Dia lain lah untuk, dia pakai LAN tak silap saya. Antara
Dia sebab dia pakai LAN tu nak pergi HMI kan.
Okay.
Tapi antara ESM to ESM dia pakai
Survivor
juga. Dia pakai LAN tu sebab dia nak separatekan sistem yang berbeza. Tapi dia macam jadi, dia kalau 2 voltage level kan, dia bus coupler punya ESM almost work like client ESM of a station.
Dia pakai bus coupler.
Bus coupler punya ESM almost similar as client ESM.
So daripada bus coupler punya ESM to Zone 5 punya client ESM, dia pakai LAN.
Not client ESM. Okay. See when I say bus coupler punya ESM tu act as a client ESM, maksudnya time server bagi dia connect direct to the ESM. HMI connect direct to the ESM. Gateway connect direct to the ESM. Semua dia pakai port yang khas pergi ke 132 kV level.
Coupler semua.
So coupler punya ESM tu dia macam
Setting
jadi
like
macam client ESM for 132. But it's not client ESM lah, still it's bay ESM. But for when it comes to 2 voltage level, we use such a topology lah. We use such a network topology.
Kenapa dia tak create satu lagi client ESM untuk 132?
Well, if you ask me, maybe it's not required, it's not needed lah. Actually, it can be done. It can be done where you need to have another ESM dekat gateway panel tersebut. Maybe to, I don't know, minimize cost or minimize space, either one lah.
Sebab B ni kita kadang-kadang ada buat kerja kat B kan. Kita off DC kat B. Kalau kena kat coupler, kita off DC coupler, tak nampak untuk 132 punya side.
Correct.
Kan?
Betul. I agree with that. Memang correct lah.
Kalau you buat satu dekat HW, one separate untuk 132, then anything happen dekat B pun, you mesti boleh monitor untuk ada B lah. Kalau ni tak adalah ada interrupt the whole system lah.
Yep. Correct. Actually, personally, I have given a thought about that as well lah. It is true.
Alam tu duduk kat coupler kan. Lepas tu kita kena offkan ESM tu. Kita off ESM gelap.
Betul. Satu 132 kV network memang hilang. That's how it works lah. But why such a way? I have no answer for that lah.
Saya rasa ni TMB punya.
Yes, memang TMB punya plan.
Kena
So
aware juga. Saya rasa sebelum ni dia pakai dua. Tempat lain FIS dia pakai dua. Then dia dah revise, then
could be lah, could be. Maybe as I say lah, either cost or space or could be part of their
tapi yang dia terdapat
cyber security, anything. That one I need to clarify with the product team now. But as this is the
Ada
proof
site
for
yang
now.
ni ke? Yang dah
yang pakai dua ESM tak ada.
apa?
So,
Tak, site yang ada 275 dengan what itu yang
Banyak.
orang dah buat lah.
Banyak.
Yang tengah run ke selain Ampang,
The light.
the light.
so konsep sama juga.
Konsep
Yang
sama juga.
contoh macam kalau dah buat waktu itu, lepas tu tengah jalan 275. Macam Ampang sekarang tengah jalan 275 je tu. Waktu itu belum wujud lagi kan?
Light sudah commission bro.
Oh, the light sudah
Light
commission.
sekarang.
Boleh kot. Pergi sana, right off. Tengok, orang sana melompat tak?
Steamnya.
Selain tu DJGS. DJGS
Itu sama juga.
sama juga. Yes.
Oh, boleh request kot. Pergi ke sana, kita tengok orang sana cakap. Kan?
Next one. Gaming industry pun sama.
Dia bank kan?
Gaming industry DJGS.
Apa saja ni?
All tu voltage
Sebelum
level
dia lawak
dia
bagi
commission
kita
sama.
sana.
Dia punya konsep.
Kita nak tanya orang sana macam mana dia belum buat?
Kalau off confirm mati.
Kalau off kau mati kan?
ESM MCB dia asing kan?
Sorry.
ESM dia punya MCB dia asing kan?
Every bay memang asing lah dia ada.
Asing.
DC supply dia lah. ESM kan? Ya.
Tak boleh tutup lah.
Please lah.
Ada sini.
Bus coupler bay is crucial for 132 lah. If this plan is going on in your
So, bila contoh macam maintenance, macam alarm list tu kan, alarm list tu dia dah keluar tau. So apa yang orang akan buat, orang akan off untuk dia mati kan. Ya, contoh macam you ada list kan, you nak keluar kan, oh tu nak mati, memang off LCD lah. Betul tak? Kalau orang tak aware,
Just want to confirm this maintenance you are mentioning this for particular bay lah. Contoh let's say E01. So you will off the ESM dekat E01. And then,
itu is okay. Tapi kalau kat coupler tadi,
ya macam 132 itu voltage level you need to off if you want to do maintenance for bus coupler,
Ya.
is it? And then you off ESM bus coupler.
Yes.
Yeah, the communication.
tapi dia akan kacau the whole 132. Betul tak?
So, ESM tu crucial lah.
Kalau macam orang yang aware, okay. Tapi maintenance ni bukan semua orang aware pun.
Correct.
Betul tak?
Dia off memang dia akan nampak semua off lah.
Ya.
So yeah, regarding the 132 kV maintenance, have to plan a way to do it lah. Maybe there are a few ways we can do lah. One is remove the fiber of the IED.
Yang ni page berapa dalam
Rather than we off ESM kan, kita boleh cabut fiber IED lah. Alternate way lah.
Okay, apa pula macam contoh macam kalau plan, kalau ESM coupler tu faulty.
Kalau ESM coupler tu faulty, memang SCADA pun takkan dapat, HMI pun takkan dapat lah.
Habis lah, the whole
Whole
kan.
132 goes off lah.
Mana
So
kita kena
we need to
emergency ni lah. Betul tak?
we need to actually the best part is apa tu? Setiap ESM ada 4 fiber copper, 4 copper port lah. So
Be okay lah. Okay.
that's the emergency lah, emergency plan ke. You can sebab as long as dia dah masuk dalam network tersebut, HMI ke SCADA ke, dia dah dapat online lah.
Okay.
Except for the faulty ESM lah. Okay.
Alright.
So and then I focus a bit here. Okay, so specifically here just want to explain about this network. So from SCADA gateway, we will use two port A, port B. It's just the first port and the second port lah, which will be used for channel A, channel B, main channel and backup channel. So from SCADA gateway, there will be RJ45 goes to mirror switch, and then from mirror switch, then only it goes to the ICT room. So this NCC is basically ICT room lah.
Okay. Dalam
Yes.
ni page berapa ni?
Ini conceptual, ini system architecture.
Dalam tak ada.
Tak ada.
Oh.
Just starting with this first, then baru masuk.
Mukadimah.
So yang ni itulah dia akan go through by mirror switch lah. So the mirror switch you can use the mirror port to monitor the 104 signals being sent to the DC. But this is the part you understand lah. There's 4 RJ45 involved here lah. One from SCADA gateway to mirror switch, then from mirror switch to search arrestor, and then search arrestor to
ICT.
ICT room.
Apa dia nak ni? Kenapa ada mirror switch tu?
Okay, the mirror switch punya idea is to make sure the router is clear lah, redundancy tak berlaku.
Okey.
Supaya kalau macam contoh kan dia masuk ESM yang biasa, dia kemungkinan channel A dengan channel B tu ada redundancy.
Oh.
So dia tak stable. Dan DC dua-dua dia akan bagi dua-dua dia akan online kan actually. So tapi dia ada satu mode yang dia boleh letak standby. Tapi in our gateway, bila dia letak standby tu, our gateway akan recognize benda tu sebagai online juga. So untuk dia act as a standby and online, we need to have the mirror router.
Oh.
Dia macam router tu dia kena have the redundancy where they can say this line jalan, this line you jalan juga, tapi sampai client tu consider client tu dia bagi you hantar information baru you hantar. Sampai dia tak suruh you hantar, you pegang saja information tu. So dia pegang semua information tu. Dan bila dia backup channel tu online, buffer tu akan hantar lah. So if it doesn't have that, then the stability of the network won't be stable lah. Tiba-tiba ni online, then tu pun online, nanti analyst pun confused lah. Yang mana tengah hantar sekarang kan. So
Dia one time satu jalan saja, satu channel saja yang jalan kan?
Betul. Satu channel saja. Sebab tu kita ada dual switch. To avoid dua channel jalan sekali. Okay. Okay, so I think I've covered about the system architecture a bit. Anything you would like to ask about on the system architecture that you want to clarify? Because how SLD single line diagram is important for a power substation. This is the secondary substations, SLD lah, similarly lah. So understanding network system architecture, you can understand what is the network going on in any station. This is the most easiest way to take refer. Then and it is another reason we try as much as possible to follow the fiber arrangement lah. To make people easy to understand. Once they see this, they can know this is how the arrangement is there. Unless we changing the arrangement, we need to have some notification mode lah. Okay, so then we go to our module. By the way, before we go to module, it's 10:30 AM. So we go for our small break first, and we come back around 11.